Elizabeth, Countess of Low Carb, and on this episode, we're gonna do vegetarian keto meal prep recipes coming up next. Hey guys, this is Elizabeth, Countess of Low Carb, and on this episode, we're gonna do vegetarian keto meal prep recipes. If you love this video, smash that like button. Make sure you click subscribe to see all things keto, all things intermittent fasting. I do have animal products in other videos though. It's not solely vegetarian keto for all of my videos, but I have hundreds and hundreds of keto and weight loss videos. Make sure you click subscribe and let's dive into our content. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button, make sure you click subscribe and sign up for my free weekly keto meal plan that comes out every Wednesday. Hey guys, okay, so let's dive into the content, what we're making today for our vegetarian keto recipes. My little boy colored on my recipe outline, but it will all be in the description link below, as is my free weekly keto diet meal plan. Sign up and get it for free. Okay, so what we're gonna make today are some zucchini roll-ups, some vegetarian meatballs. We're gonna make a cucumber nut delicious olive oil dish, a burger, but it's gonna be plant-based. And then also, I'm gonna talk about a couple of other things if we have time, but I do have a 4-year-old, so we'll see how far we get in this awesome vegetarian keto video. If you wanna see more videos just like this one, make sure you put in the comments vegetarian keto as the keyword, and I know to do more videos that are vegetarian keto. Okay, so I just came back from my Whole Foods grocery haul. I'm gonna show you a bunch of different vegetarian keto things and items. I'm gonna knock out some of the grabby quick things first, and then I have meals, a whole meal plan to show you that's vegetarian keto. Number one is I got whenever I go to Whole Foods, I always try to get whole coconut. This of course is high fat. It's good for you, it's good for us, it's good, and it tastes good. I like having just the whole chunks of the coconut, and they cut it for you at Whole Foods. If you are not near a Whole Foods, which hello, I'm not, I have to literally go over the Appalachian Mountains to get to one, you can get from Trader Joe's another option, which I'll put in the description link below from Amazon, or if you're not near a Trader Joe's, is the organic unsweetened coconut flakes. You can do this to add high fats in. My number one thing with vegetarian keto, and there's two number one things. One is minding your macros. I see a lot of vegetarian ketos that are not eating a high fat, moderate protein, low carb diet, and that's what keto is. If you don't know what your macros are, meaning your fat and your protein for your specific body, go in the description link and go figure out what it is for your body. I have a whole video and a whole website link for you to figure that out for yourself. So that's number one. Number two is, and I do want to give this disclaimer with all of these foods, is I don't expect people to, like their own self be true. Not everyone should have to do the keto diet. Not everyone should have to be vegetarian or have to be vegan or have to be any of those things. I kind of feel like some things just aren't meant for everybody's bodies, and generally lumping people in together is not the best idea. So I wanted to do a vegetarian keto video because I wanted to give choices and be an inclusive group of different choices and things like that. So anyways, I do have other videos that have animal products in them with the ketogenic diet, but I wanted to give choices, and that was my big thing with today's video, is so many of the vegetarians were asking me, well, how do I eat on keto? Because it is such a healthful lifestyle and I've lost so much weight. Here's my before and after. That it does, this lifestyle is incredible. So I wanted to do it plant-based and show you some of these options. So going back to the coconut, there's this coconut. I have this whole coconut from Whole Foods, which I'll show you what we're gonna do with this bad boy. Then I also have unsweetened coconut flakes with them. 1/4 a cup of these is 7 carbs or 2 net carbs, depending on how you count. Making sure you're getting the high fat in. That's the biggest thing I see with vegetarian ketos, is you may not be having enough fat in your diet. So I want to give a bunch of different choices. The other thing I love is coconut manna. This is in the description link below. It's an organic. I love it. People are like, how do you eat your coconut manna or your coconut butter? Straight out of the jar. 1 tablespoon at a time. And so 1 tablespoon is 3 carbs or 1 net carb, depending on how you count. 9 grams of fat and 1 gram of protein. It does have 1 gram of sugar. It does not need refrigeration, so this is something you could take to work with you, ideally leaving in intermittent fasting. But having this before I start intermittent fasting is awesome. So that's another choice that I would highly recommend with that. Some other quick grabby foods is I did get from Whole Foods while I was there These beautiful olives, how good do those look? And you can use the pimentos to make pimento cheese. So I'm gonna be leaving those in, but those literally are a great high-fat item to have. I got organic walnuts, another great item to have. I didn't even open them. These can go on top of salads, again, for the high-fat, moderate protein, making sure that your macros are lining up with high-fat, moderate protein, and not just having a high-protein diet, I think is important. And having, this was a couple of other things for vegetarian keto that pop out for me on the ketogenic diet is not having too much dairy because it can cause inflammation, and not having too much nuts because, hello, eating too much of nuts, for me, can cause digestive issues and weight loss goals. So the next thing I got were, I'm going to show you the rest of them. We're going to try a couple of different things depending on time to see. So let's go dive into my meal. The other thing I did grab was fresh made guacamole. Guacamole prices are on the rise because avocado prices are on the rise as of summer 2019. But avocados, hello, every day as a vegetarian keto, you should get them, not should. I would encourage to have them in your diet in some capacity to ensure you're getting that high fat. I've noticed that my skin dramatically changes when I do have an avocado or guacamole every single day. So the first thing I'm gonna go ahead and make is my zucchini roll-ups. These I've already washed, they're organic, so they're already clean. I'm just gonna go ahead and shred them. I'm gonna cut them into little slices. I've got my pans already going. Slippery little sucker. All right, now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut my slices into thin little slices. See, like that thin. Don't worry, if you're not a good cook, neither am I, just don't slice your finger off. All right, I got my slices. I'm gonna cover these in some avocado oil and put them in my heated pan. And we're gonna go ahead and plop these into the pan and start cooking them. So I'm cooking them in the pan. I'm just gonna cook them for about a minute or two on each side. Check them out to see if they're nice and crispy. And I wish I had made that one a little bit thinner and sliced, but you live and you learn. I got another zucchini to do this with as well. So I've been listening to you guys talk about Beyond Meat to Beyond Burger. Here's applesauce coming over. I'm gonna go ahead, I've got my pan heated. You could do this on a grill. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it inside. I did ensure that this pan, I didn't want to use my cast iron skillet because I do cook with normally with other animal byproducts, and I did not want to commingle the pan. So, just FYI on that. Let me go ahead and get my Beyond Meat burger out. I'm going to coat them in oil and then put them, the skillet is actually now hot, and start cooking them. Now over, see, they're nice and beautifully brown. I got a good helper. She always comes over because she knows I'll drop stuff. These are beautifully browning. I'm going to go ahead and get my ricotta all set to start wrapping them. Y'all told me to put a little oil down, so I did. I'm going to go ahead and put the consistency on the patty. It definitely feels different. It does not feel like an animal byproduct. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And I saw that I should cook it for about 2 minutes on each side and then flip it and not squish it. Excuse my ghetto nails there. And not squish it down because that will squish out the coconut oil fat in it. So just kind of flipping it without squishing it was the big thing. I'm going to attempt to try to make some ground, air quote, beef, some ground meat out of this, or meatballs. So we'll see, but first I want to try making my first patty to see how that goes. So I've got my ricotta cheese. You could do this a couple of different ways. This one I'm going to show because it's flimsy, like it's a loosey-goosey one. You could feasibly take your ricotta, just a little bit of it, put it in here, and again I have the avocado, the olive oil on it. to make it high fat. And you can make little roll-ups, like roll it up. Or with these, I literally can just start stacking them and chopping it. And I could layer it. Like I could layer it like this as a potential option of where you're making it like a somewhat sandwich. You can make somewhat a sandwich out of it, depending on kind of what you want to do. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and layer them. Cover them in my ricotta. So here's the roll-up kind, here's like the sandwich stacking method, and then here's just like the flip over method. And you can layer this with several zucchinis. You have the high fat on it because of the olive oil, the moderate protein because of the ricotta, but let's look at the macros in ricotta just to make sure we're making conscious, educated choices. It's 3 carbs for 1/4 a cup of ricotta. I forget where I got this. Oh, this is from Target, but sometimes you can get the organic one from Whole Foods or somewhere else. And then you can put this with tomato sauce, although be mindful of the sugar and carbs. Or I would love to put my own Alfredo, my Countess of Low Carb Alfredo sauce on top of this as well. So I have an awesome helper. She's back. I'm gonna go ahead and flip these because it's been probably like 3 minutes. And I did burn it from what the Sesame Street chef, and that's okay. So I'm gonna make sure I come back in 2 minutes and check on this. So I'm going to go ahead and try to make my meatballs. Some of y'all had said that using the ground version versus the patty style was better, but I'm just going to simply shape it and see if I can cook this into little itty bitty meatballs. We'll see. We'll see how this experiment turns out. I have no idea. And then I'm going to go ahead and just make this into ground beef because I can use it for a meat sauce, like an Italian meat sauce. So there's my meatballs, and then there is like the ground loose plant-based meat. So I'm going to go ahead and cook some of my spaghetti noodles using the zucchini. I got this from Whole Foods. Macros for these, I would love to share about the zucchini. It is 1/3 cup is 3 carbs or 2 net carbs depending. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cooked for our vegetarian keto, so we have some noodles. And then I'm also going to keep rotating around my plant-based meatballs. So I implore you to learn a little bit about tomato sauce. This is from Aldi because it's 39 cents a can, and it's one of the lowest sugar and carbs I found. 1/4 a cup is 4 carbs or 4 net carbs, depending on how you count. It's basically the same. But sugars, there's 2 grams of sugars in 1/4 a cup. Ideally, getting the Countess Alfredo sauce that I make is a better choice. But I'm going to use this in some of the dishes today just to show you as a potential low carb food option if you're on the low carb diet versus not fully keto diet. I'm traveling these to a vegetarian friend, so we'll see if I can get them to make these travel ready. I don't know. I'm going to put some of my tomato sauce on top of here and also some of my plant-based meat sauce, air quotes. I'm using the Beyond Burger meat to help make them too. So to monitor my low carb item, I'm just literally sprinkling a little on top, not that much. You can see in terms of portion size, literally it was just a drizzle. And I'm gonna go ahead and add the plant-based Beyond Burger meat on top. traveling these to a vegetarian friend, so we'll see if I can get them to make these travel ready. I don't know. I'm gonna put some of my tomato sauce on top of here and also some of my plant-based meat sauce, air quotes. I'm using the Beyond Burger meat to help make them. So to monitor my low carb item, I'm just literally sprinkling a little on top, not that much. You can see in terms of portion size, literally it was just a drizzle. And I'm gonna go ahead and add the plant-based Beyond Burger meat on top. Macros for these, I would love to share about the zucchini. It is a third of cup is 3 carbs or 2 net carbs depending. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this cooked for our vegetarian keto so we have some noodles. And then I'm also gonna keep rotating around my plant-based meatballs, faux meatballs. So I implore you to learn a little bit about tomato sauce. This is from ALDI because it's 39 cents a can and it's one of the lowest sugar and carbs I found. A fourth a cup is 4 carbs or 4 net carbs depending on how you count. It's basically the same. But sugars, there's 2 grams of sugars in a fourth a cup. Ideally getting the Countess Alfredo sauce that I make is a better choice. But I'm going to use this in some of the dishes today just to show you as a potential low carb food option if you're on the low carb diet versus not fully keto diet. Traveling these to a vegetarian friend, so we'll see if I can get them to make these travel ready. I don't know. I'm going to put some of my tomato sauce on top of here and also some of my plant-based meat sauce, air quotes. I'm using the Beyond Burger meat to help make them too. Carb item, I'm just literally sprinkling a little on top, not that much. You can see in terms of portion size, literally it was just a drizzle. And I'm gonna go ahead and add the plant-based Beyond Burger meat on top. It's more of a keto diet. For sure, I would have used my Alfredo sauce, not the tomato sauce, but here's the Beyond Burger plant-based meat. It's not real meat, it's like a vegetarian meat, is on top. And voila, you can put a little parsley on top and bon appetit. I'm getting ready for this to travel, which is why it's in this container, but there you go.
I think we can find those 2 slots then.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. How do you use the knife?
No, it's called a shredder.
I see it first.
Let me just get it. Thank you.
Watch out for your hand, Mom. Watch out for your hand, okay?
Here you go.
Coming down.
Yep. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button, make sure you click subscribe and sign up for my free weekly keto diet meal plan for all things keto, all things intermittent fasting. Bye guys, make it a powerful day.